Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of March 27th. This week, we're just going to jump right in here and see what is going on for you. You have this card that says, you are going to make mistakes and it's okay sometimes. You learn by messing up. You also have this gossip card that says, people are talking about you and what you are doing. It says, minimize drama to take personal responsibility, to act with integrity. And we're getting, to the end of Mars and Gemini, depending on when you're watching this. If you're watching this early, then, Mars is not in Gemini yet. But if you are watching it after, then never mind. But what I would say is that Mars and Gemini is really bad for gossip. So as I've been saying for the past 8 months or so, maybe longer, probably since last year, well into last year, or I should say at the beginning, no gossip at this time, no getting into arguments or fights or anything like that, because, Mars and Gemini, even when it leaves, it doesn't matter. It still can represent a bad time. So, I would just avoid it at all costs here, Taurus. We are going to, again, you have the moon, the chariot, and the ten of swords showing up in your first position there. I do feel like there is some sort of change here going on with all three of these cards. The moon is, it kind of reminds me of like needing to not give up. Let's put it that way. This first row, I always say the moon says don't stop, and there's this mountain in the background here, and the mountains in the tarot represent achievements, but the moon can kind of represent fears, anxieties, feeling like you don't have the resources. And look at this. You go moon, 5 of pentacles to the 7 of swords. 7 of swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, but really, the 7 of swords means much more than that. It's a card of tactics. It's a card of doing things differently. 5 of pentacles is a card of needing to make sure that you don't focus on your weaknesses, right? And I always say things, for example, we have Uranus and Taurus, and I always say no get-rich-quick schemes during Uranus and Taurus, because Uranus and Taurus has a lot to do with our values, like the things that we value. And most get-rich-quick schemes, it's like, are you truly passionate about, selling whatever on Amazon, some sort of Amazon product or whatever the case may be, right? Probably not. And if you are, different story. But what I would say is probably not. So if we do things, or if we try to force things that we're not passionate about with this astrology, then it's just not going to work really, really well. So, and again, Uranus and Taurus hates get-rich-quick schemes. But also, it's like if you're doing something like, imagine if I was good at writing, which I'm not. But imagine if I was, and I was doing YouTube. But it's like if I had this channel and was failing, it would probably be better if I just had a blog and wrote my readings out, right? So it's like I kind of feel that for some of you. I hope these are good examples. They're probably not. But, I feel like for some of you, it's like whatever you're doing, maybe there's just a better way to do it, or a different approach, or something different. I feel like I've said this to you before, and it's definitely what I get on the chariot. The chariot is about setting yourself apart as well, but it's also a card that says where there's a will, there's a way. And so, it's a card of taking control and kind of like making something happen. You have the 10 of swords. Something has to come to an end here, Taurus, even when we go this way. 10 of swords, 5 of pentacles to the king of wands. I kind of feel like that King of Wands energy is an energy that you need to embrace, an energy of being bold, being assertive, really going for the things that you want in life. And, that's the energy I would embrace there. With the Moon card, you have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is a card of learning and studiousness. So I do feel that learning, everything here basically says try something else. Your reading's pretty simple, Taurus. You have the Magician. The Magician has mastery over all the suits in the tarot. And it says if one thing isn't working, try another tool. Again, it's like maybe you're using your emotions with the cups, but you need to use your pentacles. Or maybe you need to use your swords, or whatever the case may be, right? Or maybe you need to be more creative. And, that's what I would be doing here, Taurus, especially if you're working on like projects or any businesses. With the Chariot, you have the, throwing cards. You have the Star card. You have the Sun and the Star, which is like fame and fortune, which is really nice. But the Star is also about having kind of like one thing to work towards. Again, a very, very Pluto and Aquarius, but also very Uranus and Taurus. Like basically the astrology right now, everyone gets a Star right now. And so, I would have something that is bigger than you to work towards. Again, I really feel, especially if I were a Taurus, the only thing I would be focusing on is like building, leaving a legacy, creating more true value in my life. Like, whatever your values are. It's like maybe you value going fishing every single day, like do it. Maybe you value being able to, cook your own food every day, like whatever it is. I would be doing at least one thing. I'm not a Taurus and I'm doing this. So, like again, I would be doing something. And it's definitely popping into my head. I also do feel there could be new love coming in for some of you. Could be another Earth sign. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Five of Swords, some sort of separation here, going this way. Or, this could be some sort of sadness that you have been dealing with here, Taurus. Again, this could be partially Mars and Gemini. I do feel like it's a little bit more of an emotional time as well. We do have Venus entering into Cancer as well. And so, I'm wondering, I'm kind of wondering if, if you're feeling emotional this week. That's really what I'm getting there. I'm not getting anything about like a heartbreak. It could be something heartbreaking that has happened, or you could be thinking about a past separation or something like that, right? Doesn't even have to be love. But I kind of feel like it's, more emotional. I hope that makes sense. Even in the area of the unexpected, you have the Shipwreck. It says, find closure, the end of a phase or a cycle. And there's clearly a big ending going on here. Ten of Swords, Five of Swords, right? And, pretty much everything else in your reading. So I do feel like there could be an ending, or there could be a situation coming in for you that provides closure. You have the Magician, the Five of Pentacles, and the Justice card. I really feel that, clearly this is important. The Magician is pointing towards the Ace of Pentacles and the Sun. To me, this would represent just needing to invest time into things that make you happy. And I know that sounds simple, but it's like if you're mostly doing things that you don't love, then I feel like you're going to have a hard time. If you add more things into your life that you do love, then you're going to have a great time, is what this is saying. And you're probably going to manifest a lot of good stuff. I really think this is a sign of the times. It's like, people could be worried about money and all this other stuff. So you might be thinking, I need to work harder, or I need to, make these changes. But maybe it's not the right answer. Maybe you need to, again, focus more on things that you love. I would also focus on making sure that you double down on your strengths. Five of Pentacles is a card of calling attention to your weaknesses. You can see right here, this guy, he has a belt around his neck. And he represents a leper, and he represents a time where lepers used to have to wear bells around their necks so people would know when they were coming down the street. And, it basically says that, yeah, you can focus all day long on the things that you're not good at, or you can double down on your strengths. And again, this has been coming up like crazy for the past 3 months or so, probably because, again, Pluto's left Capricorn, and, it's going to go back into Capricorn. But really, Pluto and Capricorn in the first place, the last 20 years, is all about efficiency in things that are efficient. If you notice that there's been a lot of breakdown of things that are not efficient, and that is going to continue. It's actually only going to get more intense. And, but this is a good thing because we're becoming more efficient. But on a personal level, again, I wouldn't be trying to, again, I feel like you need to tell yourself you're good enough basically with this Five of Pentacles, and that you are enough. Because you could be thinking that you're lacking something. And it's very weird because I'm trying to narrow it into one part of your life here, Taurus, but it's not. It's like this could be love, it could be money, it could be whatever. But I feel like you need to look at those beliefs that you have that you're not enough, and correct, kind of work on those beliefs. You have the Justice card here. It looks to me like you're trying to balance your life out. And, I also think that taking a more neutral approach to the things that you're doing would be a good idea. I do feel, again, that some of you, it's like you could be wasting time trying to improve something that you just really don't want to do. Again, I don't really have any good examples, but, I used to work with a lot of businesses. I still do sometimes, and it's like sometimes I'll be working with a person, and it's like they do things that they think they have to do because it's what everybody else does, like in business, even though they hate doing it. It's like, let's say you have a business and you want to start building a YouTube channel, but maybe you find out you hate it, but you feel like you have to do it because everybody does it. And I feel like this is saying, it's like, why are you doing things that you hate? Make sure that there are plenty of other ways that you could promote your business or promote yourself that don't involve doing something that maybe you're not good at, or you just don't want to get good at either, right? I think you need to kind of tap into your feelings about things. I always say, if you're doing something, but you just can't motivate yourself to do it, you probably shouldn't be doing it, right? And that's kind of what I get here. With the Magician, you have the Fool, some sort of new beginning coming in for you. The new beginning is right here. I mean, this is a very happy, passionate, exciting new beginning coming in for you. With the Five of Pentacles, yeah, things have to change here, Taurus. You have the Judgment card. On the Judgment card, the people are in their coffins. I always say the coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. I feel like it's time for you to experience a new life, something new. And again, there seems to be some important closure coming in for you that could be leading to this new life. With the Justice card, you have the Devil. Some of you could be getting justice from like a devil person, or someone who is toxic. You have the Devil twice in your reading, but the Devil at the end is coming up in the area of the good stuff, so it doesn't matter what shows up there, it's going to be good no matter what. So some of you could be like conquering some sort of inner demon, some addictions, whatever, or you could be just kind of letting go of something that has been holding you back for a long time. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this Poverty card and this Message card. Some of you could be feeling left out. I don't even think it has to be financial poverty. Actually, financially, this reading looks like improvements, but Five of Pentacles is the card of poverty, right? But, what I would say here is that I feel like some of you could be receiving some messages that kind of break you out of a lack situation. I also feel this might be love. Like if you had a person who left you out in the cold, I feel like some of you could be receiving a message from that person. I'm not saying that you should listen to this message. I'm not saying that you should communicate with this person at all. But it could be providing closure if like someone left you out in the cold, especially in a relationship. And, it could be the thing that is like moving you forward. This person could be a fire sign. You have the King of Wands here, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. This could be involving money. So, there could be money coming in here for you as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you do have the Seven of Swords. So it could have been a liar, cheater, stealer. It looks to me like some lies or some secrets or something is coming to light here. This could be very healing, Taurus. So if you want closure with that, that shipwreck card says find closure. So you could be getting closure from a situation in your life, and it could be something that's very healing. You also have the Ace of Pentacles. Some of you, it's kind of funny because I'm wondering if there's like a change in work. It's like, maybe you feel like you thought you were working on the right things, and now you're realizing that you're not working on the right things is what this looks like to me. And, this could be kind of like a back to the drawing board type of reading. It just reminds me of all those stories. Like there, for a good example is like all of these authors, it's like the guy who wrote Game of Thrones. It's like he was writing another book before he wrote Game of Thrones, but then he stopped writing that book to write Game of Thrones. It's like he went from one to another, but he had to start all over again. And, look at this. You have the Six of Swords right here. And the Six of Swords is about leaving something behind. And it's about releasing something. This woman and the child in the boat here, they only have the clothing on their back. They have nothing else with them. So they're moving on completely only with the clothing on their back. So they're like completely starting over. But they're actually starting from a place of knowledge and wisdom. And not only that, the guy in the back of the boat here, he represents a guide. They're being guided towards something that is clearly going to make them very happy. I do get that feeling for you, and I do feel that you are also going to need to be brave, bold, assertive, and kind of like move towards this. Like, don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to start from scratch, right? And it might sound bad, but again, it's like, do you think George R.R. Martin regrets becoming like a freaking billionaire now or whatever he is? I don't care, right? Who knows how much money he has, but still, it's like, do you think he regrets that change? I doubt it, right? He doesn't regret the work that he had to do. So, to start over, to do something different. And again, there's other stories of authors who've done the same thing. And I'm not saying this is writing a book. I'm saying this could be anything in your life. It's like maybe you feel like you have to leave a toxic relationship that you thought was going somewhere, but it isn't. So it's like this reading is about being honest with yourself, right? With the King of Wands, right? Like I literally, you have the King of Swords. I literally just said being honest with yourself, and here you go. You have the King of Swords. Being honest with yourself definitely could represent that. I also feel for some of you, by the way, some of you, this could be like karma, or there could be something legal going on here. I would say this is like a settlement. I said something about money going this way. So there could be like a settlement. There could be like more money coming in, or like an inheritance or something like that. With the Ace of Pentacles, are you kidding? You have the Six of Pentacles. Yes, you have to start planting seeds in a new direction, going this direction here. You have two sixes. I love two sixes, especially when they're touching like this, or in a diagonal or a row. To me, it represents you going in the right direction. Everything is calling you like this way, kind of as well here, Taurus, in the reading. So I feel like you need to start planting seeds in a new direction. It's like, don't be afraid, especially in like work or business, don't be afraid to try something new or to do something different or to reinvent yourself. It's like maybe what you've been doing has just been teaching you something, but it looks like there's a big new opportunity here. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. So there could be people that want to help you, but this could also be you creating something in life that gets you a lot of attention, like in work or business. You could be creating an amazing, writing a book, like I just said, or creating an amazing business that really stands out. So, I would get to work here, Taurus. Next, you have this change in the wind card. This is coming up in the area of the good stuff. Clearly, there's a major change going on for you here, and it's going to lead to a lot of success. And I feel like it's something that is just moving in a new direction. Again, I really, for those of you in business or work, I really see you kind of like, like I said, kind of like leaving things behind with the Six of Swords, but you're moving towards your true happiness. And, the Six of Swords, like I said, is a card of leaving everything behind you to get to the other side. And there could be just a lot of success in doing that, obviously, with this card. I feel like you've been stuck in the mud for a while, and really this card coming up here to me is saying that you're maybe finally getting to a place of progress where you feel like you're kind of like moving forward. You have this Devil. So again, it's coming up in the area of the good stuff. That tells me that you're releasing something that maybe has drained your energy or has been keeping you stuck for a long time. I do also feel you could be attracting an earth sign. It's funny because you showed up in Virgo's reading. And now, it could be a Virgo, it could be a Capricorn, but you have the Page of Pentacles, so it wouldn't surprise me if you were attracting like an earth sign person. Could also just be a person who has a lot of earth in their chart, like a fire sign with a lot of earth, because you have fire here, and you always get fire with me. Could be a Cancer as well. Could be any sign. I mean, it's a general reading, but again, I kind of feel that energy. The other thing is that I always say these people, they have animal horns on their heads. And it kind of represents our baser instincts. It's like the creative, root chakra energy. But I always say with the Devil, we need to bring that energy up to our head and put it out into the world. We need to, create something. So if you have creative ideas, it's like, or new ideas, then I would start creating, because that's where success is going to be for you. You have the Sun, best card in the deck. And, I really feel that the Sun is just talking about maybe a lot of happiness that's coming in for you here, Taurus. With the Six of Swords, you have the Page of Wands. Yeah, go on the adventure, follow your enthusiasm. That's the time that we're in. I probably said it to you in your last reading, because I feel like I said this to you in your last reading. It's like we have to kind of follow clues at this time, where it's like maybe we think we were meant to be a dentist or a lawyer, God forbid, or something like that, but really we're meant to maybe do something else. And I kind of feel like you have to follow your intuition, follow your clues, follow your tools as well with the Magician. With the Devil, you have the Nine of Swords. Again, you're ending a negative cycle. You are ending something like karmic here, is what I feel. It doesn't necessarily have to be love, but, Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. And, coming up in the area of the good stuff, this would suggest that you are ending the nightmare, or a nightmare is coming to a conclusion. So I really like that. With the Sun, you have the Two of Pentacles. Work hard, play hard. Again, make sure you're putting energy into the right side of the scale. Justice and the Six of Pentacles both have a scale on them. They both kind of represent cause and effect. And the Two of Pentacles also kind of represents the same thing. Again, the reason I talk about this so much is I feel like there is a danger that a lot of us could just waste time, investing in things that we think make sense, but actually don't make sense. We could also be overcomplicating things. And I get a little bit of that energy here where it's like maybe you think you have to work hard and put in all these hours into a business, but that you're not even passionate about in the first place, or a book that you're writing, or clearly, or whatever else you're doing. And maybe there's something else. And it's like once you get started on that other thing, once you let go of the thing that you've been holding on to, that's where the success is really going to come from. We're pulling 5 main themes now. You have this Tiger card that says doing something risky, taking a chance. I mean, literally everything we just talked about. So you could be doing something risky here, and I feel like it's going to be worth it. You have this Wedge card. It says someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Kind of a weird story here. I would be careful of any exes here. It might not even be your ex. Like if you're meeting a new person, I kind of get here that they might have an ex that's trying to ruin things. So, I would definitely be very careful of that. And no drama, obviously. You have the Flag card. It says, don't be tempted to lower your standards. Well, I would say Six of Swords. Like, don't stay in situations, that are, kind of holding you back. It's kind of weird because I really feel we are in a very critical time where we need to make sure that we're not staying in situations. It's almost like the universe is asking everyone right now, like, what are you willing to tolerate in life? And if you stay the same, then you're telling the universe, I'm willing to tolerate all the BS I've been dealing with up until this point. But if you start changing and start moving in a new direction, then I feel like you're telling the universe, no, I want more. I know I'm worth more. I know and that's why I encourage people to do these things, is to like, grow personally, or to work towards goals that are much bigger than you, or to do things that are hard, because it's like, then you're telling the universe, no, I'm worth more. I demand more. And that's how we do it. And then when you do it, the universe gets out of the way. So I feel like that's what you're doing here. You have this May card, and you have happy birthday in May if you have a May birthday. And you have this lightning card. It says, control your anger or you will be sorry. I would just be careful of like the shitbirds, as I say nowadays. It's like, I think if we're going to have problems, like personal conflicts with people in our lives, they're just going to be like little ants, that are, biting our feet in the grass or something like that. Just like little annoyances that could set us off. And I feel like it's saying be careful of, giving into that toxic energy. You have this bird perched card. It says waiting for news, package, or letter. There's clearly communication coming in for you. If you want love, I feel like there could be communication coming in for you as well in love. But it kind of looks like one of those weeks where, I feel like you're more focused on yourself and probably focused on a major change that is coming in for you. So thank you for being here, Taurus. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.